Is this an unpopular opinion? Yes. Do I care? No. Okay.
And that's why we keep backsliding. You're not hungry enough. You don't care enough. That's why you keep backsliding.
A lot of this stuff comes from the fact that it's deeper than insecurities. Like, yes, it is a layer of the jealousy and envy that women have towards each other is insecurities, but a lot of it has to do with aggression because women are not known to really, compete with each other how men compete with each other. Men compete with each other through, they use women to compete with each other. They use aggression. They may fight. They may, have different competitions to show their masculinity and to show their dominance. Whereas women do not have that. In our hierarchy in our society as women, in our circles, we do not show aggression in that fashion. We show aggression and we show our dominance in hierarchies in different ways. We show it through clicking up. We show through isolating women who may not fit within the bounds of what we think is acceptable. We kind of isolate them. We kind of chastise them. We kind of make them feel smaller than what they really are. We play a lot of games. We play in their faces and stuff like that. And I know because I have been on the receiving end of that. If you are the type of woman who you do not fit into a mold, the way them girls finna play in your face, the way them girls finna play, and don't let you be the type of woman who you have something that they do not have. Don't be the one who got something they don't got. Let you have a little man, a little house, a little chihuahua that they don't got. They might not even want the chihuahua, but the fact that you got a chihuahua and they got a cat, and your chihuahua is cuter than their cat, it's gonna start a problem. And a lot of times they take that opportunity to humble you and to bring you down a notch within the group. Because how dare you attempt to surpass me? And what it be is that they do not know how to internalize their feelings towards you as a woman. They have misplaced emotions about your aura, your presence, what you believe in, how you show up in this world, what you have accomplished, what you have achieved, what you own, what belongs to you. They have misplaced emotions about that, and therefore they lash out at you. Our own ecosystem, we're in our own orbits. And if you could focus on your lawn and mow your lawn to be pretty too. But you're worried about my lawn. And a lot of times the women that tend to be more jealous of other women are women who cannot fixate their gaze on what they're supposed to be accomplishing. They're worried about everybody else around them. You're never going to be able to plow and make progress in life if your eyes, you're looking to the side of you, you looking behind you, you comparing and contrasting what is being said and what is being done. You can never compare and contrast another woman's story because you never know the full story. You don't know what kind of altars her family has. You don't know what kind of ecosystem she's vibrating in and what kind of life she's living. You do not know what she has sacrificed to get what she has. You do not like you do not understand what kind of battles and triumphs she's had to achieve to even be able to have a piece of a bread. You get what I'm saying? All you're seeing is the results, but you're not seeing the back end of it. You don't know who's fighting her or who's helping her. You have no idea. And what I thought was very interesting about the video that's going viral on TikTok is that she felt as if she felt as if her friend was handed things. Oh, she's a lawyer and all these things. It's like, girl, y'all need to stop acting like women are just handed things just because they have it. Nothing in this world is handed to you. Everything that you have in this world, you have to take. So there's nothing that's handed to you. Even a woman that lays on her back to get a purse, she had to give something to get the purse. She had to give of her body. So when y'all get up here and y'all be like, they didn't work for it. I feel like I work harder than them. I feel like I'm more deserving of them. The fact that you feel that way lets me know that you are not more deserving of that person. Because you can't seem to understand that this person is deserving of what's given to them. Whatever you have in this life, A lot of times it is what you are deserving of. It's based off of how hard you was willing to fight and what you was willing to accomplish for that very thing that you have. Nothing in this world is freely given. Everything that you have in this world, you got to either fight for it or give something in exchange for it. Period, point blank. Another thing I wanted to talk about was I don't feel like jealousy is an emotion. Sadness is an emotion. Anger is an emotion. Joy is an emotion. I think jealousy is a character trait. I think it has to do with people that are entitled and emboldened for things that do not belong to them. And it's like the green eye monster. Like I feel like it's a wicked spirit that possesses people who do not know how to be grateful for what they do have. And all they can do is compare themselves to what they don't have. That's where I think jealousy comes from. And I feel like that's so dangerous because imagine you running around here with your girlfriend and you think y'all cool. You let that girl all up in your house, eat your food. You breaking bread with her. You traveling the world with her. And that girl set you up to get robbed or killed. Them girls that sat over there and killed Shanquella Robinson in Mexico. Let me tell you something. I got a story. So I had this friend. We had been friends. Let me go ahead and take a sip. When I be talking about these girls that be jealous and envious of you, I want you to understand that it has nothing to do with what you're doing. It has everything to do with them. And they have unresolved issues within them, but they will make it like it's your fault. And the people that are defending them, the women that are defending them, are just as bad as them. You're the jealous and envious friend. And you need to go to therapy. But that's not the point. So I had this friend who me and her grew up together. Like we went to high school together and stuff like that. We were really close. And we used to always hang out. We used to go to each other's houses and stuff like that. We grew into adulthood. Now we had several rifts throughout life because just I'm a really self-aware person, number one, but also number two, I'm a very introspective person. So I really look at things, I assess things. I'm a natural anthropologist. So when things happen, no, I don't just turn the other cheek. I be trying to figure out what happened. Like we had gotten into a few rifts because of her behavior a few times. Like I remember this one time she had this birthday party. She wanted to do this birthday party at a hotel. And I had just got my first on the job, and she had collected enough of the money, and um, I don't know if she gave it to her mom. I don't really know what happened, but her mom ended up taking her money, and so she was short of her money, and she was so frustrated because she was like, every single time I want to do something for myself, my mom is always coming in to sabotage me, and she's always taking something that's supposed to be my moment. Girl, so me being the friend that I am, I was like, hold on. Girl, you finna have this birthday party. So I give her the money that she was missing. Okay. That's how she was able to get the hotel. That's how she was able to have her birthday party. Right? I take the money from my first job and give it to her. Now I want y'all to remember this. Because as the story escalates, we get to the hotel, my parents were always really, really strict. But this time they let me go because me and her had been friends for so long. And this is the summer that I'm going to college. And so my parents was like, you know what? We know her. We know that y'all been friends. Y'all always sleeping over each other's house. Y'all cool. So they let me go. So I get to the hotel, and the next day, I guess they needed a few supplies or whatever like that. So they were like, okay, they left me, another girl, and a guy in the hotel because it was like, okay, we're the next day they needed a few supplies, so they left me and two other people in the hotel. And they were basically saying, like, we're gonna go run and get these things and then we'll be back. While problematic, because they did not leave the hotel key with us. You know what I'm saying? So you had two hotel keys. You take one, you leave the other with the people that stuck in the hotel. You know what I'm saying? It's common sense. She was like, they both took the hotel keys. So we're looking for we're in a hotel room. I mean, after about an hour or two, we after we was done talking, we sitting around looking like, hold on, y'all, we could just walk through downtown. Like we downtown was good. We was in Centennial Park. So I'm like, well, let's just go down Waterhouse. We can't. Ain't no hotel keys. We open up the door. We looking around now. At this time, we young, like we ain't never, you know what I'm saying? We don't know much. So I don't know if we could have went downstairs and got a hotel key. I don't really know. I think we needed her to get the hotel key. So I'm not really even going to talk about it because I still don't know to this day how we could have got another hotel key. I called them. They was like 30 minutes away. Like they had just left. Okay, let me backtrack. No, actually, no. Okay, this is the part where I'm mixing the details because I don't know which one came first. I don't know if I called them first about the hotel key or if us realizing that there was no key in the hotel room is what made me call them. Okay, I just want to clarify that. Anyways, I called them and I was like, y'all left. We don't have no hotel keys. We need a hotel key. Everybody left. It's about a whole bunch of y'all, and y'all took both of the hotel keys when really y'all could have coordinated with each other to come back at the same time since y'all out already. And then y'all leave a hotel key with us so that we're not stuck here in this room without a hotel key. They was like, oh, I think they got an attitude with me. Or I think okay, because this happened a long time ago. Okay, so I'm trying to really lightly on these details because I am not sure if we got into an argument on that phone. Like if I would let you know if they popped the attitude with me and then I got off the phone and was like, oh, them folks got me messed up. Or if this was afterwards. Okay. Keep that in mind. Anyways, I get on the phone with them and basically like, girl, we ain't getting a hotel key because they already gone and we need to stay put. That's what they told me. Stay put. Okay. So I'm talking to my girl. I'm like, hold on now. Like, girl, they done got us messed up. We talking woo woo woo. And hours passed. They were supposed to be back within an hour. The people said we finna be back real quick. Hours passed. You hear what I'm trying to say? From like 8 a.m. in the morning to like 4 or 5 o'clock, we're in this room. And now we're brewing. Like, we're upset. Like, we started to talk big money stuff. Like, we started getting mad. Now, anything about me, I'm a firecracker. And so they pull up, kiki, laughing and stuff like that. And the room silent. The room silent because not y'all laughing and kikiing. We been here all day. We ain't had nothing to eat. We ain't had nothing to drink. There's nothing in this hotel. Like, what's so funny? Now the other two people didn't want to say nothing no more. They were quiet. I said, I brought up the concern. I said y'all left us up in this hotel room, and I think that's absolutely inappropriate. Y'all could at least left one key, and we ain't had no food. We ain't had no. Why y'all coming up in here super late? Nobody felt the need to rush back to. Nobody felt the need to rush back to us, and now y'all coming up in here kikiing with all this good energy. Whole time we been up in here crabbing the barrel. Like what going on? Like some cockroaches, just sitting around just festering. Why the girl I told y'all that me and her was friends, we grew up together, we always hung out. I'm the one that paid for this. I helped her pay for this event, bro. I helped her pay for this room. She wouldn't even have this room if it wasn't for my money. She started going off on me. I turned up. I said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am, no. So we going back and forth, but we about to come to blows. That's how close we finna come to blows. They snatched me up out the room. They pull her to the other side of the room, and they're trying to calm me down, trying to calm her down, and her friends are like defending her because the majority of them was her friends because it's her birthday party. I picked my stuff up and I left. I said, "Nah, you ain't finna play with me." Because one thing about it, and two things for certain, is I don't even deserve that type of treatment. And for somebody who don't put it into this room, you did wrong for that. You did wrong for even going off on me instead of just being apologizing, being like, "We are so sorry." You going off on me? Okay. So I left. I went home. You know, my mom was shocked. She like, "Girl, why are you back here?" You know what I'm saying? She asked me questions. I tell her what happened. Then my quote unquote friend called me and was like, "Oh, you know, she apologized and stuff because she didn't really mean to." And she was basically saying, like, "You know, I should come back." I told her, "No, it's okay. It's okay. I don't feel like coming back." You know what I'm saying? We had That's one of the rifts that we had. I told that story to say one of the rifts that we've had in our relationships over the years. These are kind of the kind of things that will pop off. When I tell you the rifts, it's not little simple stuff, it's big things. So with that being said, my wedding come up, and this is like years later, after multiple rifts. Years later, my wedding come up, and in the beginning, she's very excited for me, very excited. And she's like, we have my maid of honor, which is my best friend, and then we got her, like, you know what I'm saying. Then my cousin was like underneath her, you know what I'm saying. My cousin was over there somewhere because that's my cousin. And then we got all my other girlfriends. But like, I'm showing that hierarchy to show you how close she was to me. So in the beginning, because it took me about 2 years of planning the wedding, you gotta scrunch your little money together. So it took me a good little 2 years, you know. And so in the very beginning, she's very happy for me. She can't believe it. She's ecstatic. She's excited. Oh my gosh, my little sis is getting married. Da 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 da. Because she always used to call me my little sister getting married, and da da da. And it feels very wholesome. As we are approaching the wedding, like 10 months in, 9 months in, the cracks start to show. She couldn't handle the fact that this one event upstaged any other event. Like, she had nothing like that going on. You see what I'm saying? She had already been married for 5 years. Like, she already had her baby. Like, there was nothing that could be like, oh, she finna upstage me. It was just my wedding. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I was talking about the whole time, because it's a lot going on. She was talking about it too. But you know what? She gets up here and she says she want to do a viral renewal too. Now me, I ain't had a problem with it. Girl, do a viral renewal, because she never get to get the wedding that she wanted. She always wanted a particular wedding. She never got to do the wedding that she's always wanted to do. I said, okay, cool. But her wedding was supposed to be a year after mine. Okay? Keep that in mind. Her wedding was a year after mine, and we are about 12 to 9 months, like, before my wedding. So it's a lot of months. So technically almost 2 years until her vow renewal wedding. And we are a year until mine. Okay? As everything was flowing, it was very ghetto. So I'm coming up, the months are passing. At this point, as the year is approaching, girl, you finna get married like in a couple months, girl. You need to send out invites. You need to go ahead and tell your bridesmaids, propose to your bridesmaids, like, hey, girl, do you want to be my bridesmaids? You having bridal showers, you having bridesmaid showers, you having bachelorettes. Like, it's a lot going on because you a few months away from your wedding. So it's like, okay, we 9 months in, we 6 months in, we 4 months in. You get what I'm saying? So it's getting closer. So I'm doing all these activities. This girl did not show up to the bachelorette party. Now I didn't request a lot. I was the one that was gonna pay for the hotel room. I was gonna pay for everything. Like, and my maid of honor was like, girl, you do not pay for stuff like that. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, my nickname amongst my family members and my closest friends is Cookie. So she was like, Cookie, you do not pay for that kind of stuff. Like, no, ma'am. And I was like, huh? No, I thought, I'm trying to, No, she's like, no, man, we're supposed to be paying for that. So she did not show up to the bachelorette party. The story I'm telling you is for one girl. The story is actually worse. It's actually a lot more stuff that happened, but I'm just focused on one girl in this moment, and that's her. So I'm just sitting there like, okay. Anyways, we planned the bachelorette. This girl was supposed to come that weekend, that Friday, that my best friend come pick me up as we driving to Louisiana. She say such and such not coming. I'm in the car looking at my best friend like, what you, huh? She said, yeah, she told me she not coming. She couldn't find a babysitter. It's a lot going on. Now, mind you, the bachelorette had been planned for months already. The other girls that I thought were my friends, that's a whole different story because it got very ghetto. They weren't coming either. So I'm looking at my best friend like, I'm not gonna have a bachelorette party. That made me so sad because every single time it's time to celebrate me, the people start acting a fool. I can show up to people's celebrations, bring them gifts, we have a good time, and it never be about me. When it's time to celebrate me, the girls start acting a fool. I was in a car like, I can't have nothing. The disappointment, the shock, the audacity. She called, she sent a little measly text message about, how she's sorry, whoop, whoop, whoop. If I want anything, then let her know. If I need anything, she'll send money, da da da. Girl, if you got money to send, why you ain't just have money for your babysitter? You got money to send me, girl. I want your presence, not your money. Hello? So then I was like, okay, cool. I ate it up. Whole weekend, I ain't say nothing. It is what it is. She ain't coming. That weekend that I'm at the bachelorette, like I think it was like Saturday or Sunday or something like that. Or did we leave Thursday? I don't know. We was there for like a few days. She ain't talking about, so she on text. She called and was like, hey, she invited me to her bridal shower. Now remind you, I told you her wedding is like a year and a half or a year away from mine because we're not even close to my wedding date. Like we're a few months away from my wedding date. So it was like a year and a half away from my wedding. She invited me to her bridal shower that weekend. Like the bridal shower was the weekend after my bachelorette. The bridal shower is the next weekend after the bachelorette. So you not only did you not have the audacity to show up for the bachelorette, but you gonna invite me to your bridal shower that is the next weekend. My best friend said, no. I looked, I said, so then I said, okay, I'm gonna go. My best friend said, you better not go. I said, I don't want no beef, bro. If I don't go, I'm gonna be a problem. I'm gonna be the problem. I pull up to her bridal shower and everything like that. In the middle of me planning, because the next weekend I was supposed to be doing stuff for the wedding, for my wedding. So I had to squeeze everything in. I was running late because it was an hour away from my location. And I had other appointments. So I had to kind of do, you know what I'm saying? I pull up, we have a good time, and I leave. I don't say nothing to her. She texts me like 2 weeks later saying how I'm such an amazing friend. She's so grateful to have me in her life. And she's just so grateful that I came to the bridal shower. She cannot believe that I'm such an amazing little sister. Da, 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 da. I looked at the text message and I told her, I said, listen, if I'm such an amazing little sister and I'm all these things, why do you treat me like that? You know what I'm saying? Why did you not show up to my bachelorette? Why are you having, and no shade to the vow renewal, but you're literally having a vow renewal right after my wedding, but you're putting all of your events back to back with mine to be in competition with my stuff when your wedding is a year and a half away, ma'am. Like, I just want to be able to celebrate my wedding and then focus on your festivities. Because right now, I literally have real appointments. Not to say that your appointments are not real, but you can schedule them after. You know what I'm saying? And not only are you're not scheduling appointments where it's just you're requiring the whole bridal party to be there. And one of the people in the bridal party is a bride, which is me. I have to show up to these other events. I have to show up to my appointments because my wedding is literally 6 months away. So if I don't show up to these appointments, or if I don't get this fitting or whatever like that, girl, my wedding's gonna be in jeopardy. But you keep putting it at the same weekend that I have things going on. And so I'm not able to focus on what you have going on. And I would like to. But not only are you treating me like that, but you literally didn't show up to my bachelorette, but you invited me to your bridal party and I showed up. Your bridal dinner or with lunch and I showed up. You are also doing a whole bunch of things that like is clearly is giving competitive, and it's clearly giving you have only child syndrome. Like you don't know how to share the spotlight. Like you don't know how to be happy for somebody and just leave it at that. Like you have to be also the one that shows up and you're being seen, and we also need to celebrate you because one of her friends was pregnant at the time. Okay, to add context to the story, one of her other friends was pregnant at the time, and she, after saying that she wasn't going to have no more babies, she now talking about trying to have another baby. Now, the reason why that's problematic is, girl, it has to be. Now you're talking about having another baby at the same time that you're planning a wedding, and what it's giving is both of your friends are doing quote unquote big monumental things that are big life events, and you can't just be in the back. You can't just be the supportive friend. You have to come and show up and be seen too. So we need to talk about you too, because you have narcissistic tendencies, and you a jealous and envious friend. You're jealous of your friends. You're envious of the things that they have, and you don't know how to be happy for them. And you're in competition with them. That I told that story to talk about that is aggression. Because when I brought it up to be transparent, and the way that I brought it up in a very soft way. I brought it up in a way where it was like, I cannot manage all this stuff, you know? But like her maid of honor was like texting me and going off on me because I couldn't go to one of the dress fittings. And I'm like, girl, what you need a dress fitting for? We 2 years away from your wedding. What you need a dress fitting for? This is like before all this stuff happened. She was going off on me. I'm like, girl, your wedding is 2 years away. You don't need a dress fitting for it. Like right now, girl, my wedding is a year away. I can't make it to your dress fitting because I had a dress fitting on my own. That's why I can't make it. So why you text me? Why are you texting me? I like it was crazy. It was crazy. And then her friends not being able to see it is what's even more diabolical, right? So then I was just like, and I told her, I said, yeah, and I don't like the way that your friend is going off on me for something that she knows I'm getting married in a few months. And it doesn't matter to her. There was no sympathy. She like lightly apologized, but then she was growing. 2 months later, she texts me. This is 2 months before the wedding, by the way. So 2 months later, after that conversation, 2 months before the wedding, she texts me. She uninvites me from her wedding. That's a year and 2 months away. Uninvites me from being her bridesmaid. Like disinvites me from being her bridesmaid, and then disinvites herself from being my bridesmaid. Like she not interested in being my bridesmaid anymore. And she just like she's tired of the drama. You're the drama. You're the drama. Listen, the way that I had back to back to back to back to back, I had endured a lot of trauma for this wedding with women that I thought were my friends. I just blocked her. I blocked her because at that point, I'm like, there got to be some type of halo or some type of effect in the spirit realm where it's like I'm a target, like I'm getting too pieced up, and I don't know what the enemy had in mind, but that's what actually led me on a healing journey. That's what led to this YouTube page. That's what led to a lot of things, because after you go through certain type of traumas, your brain rewires in a way where it's like, for me, I was trying to figure out what is going on. And the reality of the situation is some of these girls cannot process their trauma at all. And so if you have something that they want, or they perceive, whatever they perceive, they project it onto you, if it exposes the insecurity within them. And then at that time, you're the number one villain. They can never sympathize with you. They can never understand what you're going through. They can never feel bad for you because it's never been about you. It's always been about them. And for me, this is one of the reasons why I am not a fan of girls, or, this fake kumbaya stuff going on. Because I feel like a real girl who is fond of other women is a healed woman. She's a woman that understands her boundaries. She's a woman that has done the work. She's not out here projecting violence and anger and um aggression towards other females because of whatever she has going on. Like, she has done the work, and she has faced herself, right? Because there's no sense of me attacking you for some stuff that you don't have no control over. Like, this is your life, but like your life don't have anything to do with my life. You get what I'm saying? And we sitting over here really like, we're sitting here trying hard to make sense of women and their aggressions. Women can get real ugly towards each other. You have mothers out here trafficking their daughters. Is there female camaraderie? Maybe. I mean, possibly. And I'm not going to say that I've never seen it before, because I grew up in a family where my mom, she has a lot of sisters. So it's possible to be able to live in harmony with other women. I just believe that it's in order to be able to do stuff like that, there has to be healing involved. And the truth is, a lot of people don't even know how to be friends. They don't know how to be there for each other. So that also affects the way that we interact with each other. And jealousy and envy is a heavy topic, because the reality of the situation is there is nobody who walks around jealous and envious all the time who does not affect the people around them. Your energy affects the people around you. And a jealous and envious person, to me, is not reflective. They're not self-aware. They're not self-aware, because how can you be and still be jealous and envious of other people? How can you be? You can't be. You can't be. Because if you were self-aware, you would realize that whatever they got going on don't got nothing to do with you. You do not know the full story. Eat your food. In order to not be jealous and envious of people, you have to have a level of like a mirror to yourself. Like, you have to be able to hold yourself accountable and be like, these are my feelings. This is how I feel about this. Why do I feel that way? And you have to be open to dealing with it. So you're not dealing with it. You're not being open to dealing with it. You're not being open to dealing with yourself, girl. Yeah, you can be jealous and envious of everybody. There's always somebody that's gonna be prettier than you, smarter than you, faster than you, that work harder than you. There's life. Welcome to the real world. Jealousy and envy comes from competition. This conversation is so taboo because women be trying to act like we have this sort of friendship and camaraderie that we really do not have. And it's so fake. Like, I'm gonna be real honest with you. Women can be So fake. Like I said on my TikTok video, it's 2026 and women, we need to stop acting like jealousy and envy is not a thing amongst women. Female aggression is not a thing. Being hateful, spiteful, malicious towards each other is not a thing. Because what I've noticed is a lot of the women that pretend as if that's not real, they don't know what we're talking about. They have never experienced that. You're weird because you don't have a lot of friends, and I do. They are usually the mean girls. They are usually the girls who are the attackers and the antagonizers within groups. And sometimes they are the leaders of these groups that create dissension. Okay. That's number one. I made a few videos on TikTok talking about this, but then I said I would do a longer video on YouTube to really break down the dynamics and really discuss what may be clinically going on. But I ain't no clinical psychologist, so just take my words grain of salt. But with the research that I've done and also personal experiences, I do feel like I have a really good background in being able to discuss things like this. And I was supposed to do this video like 2 weeks ago, got distracted, but then this girl goes viral about being the jealous friend. And she is defending her behavior, like she's defending her emotions. She's being transparent and vulnerable, but she is um basically justifying her emotions and justifying her behavior because she feels like she has not acted out towards that girl, and that girl did not feel any of the jealousy or envy that she had towards her. And her and that girl are not friends anymore. And it was a mutual decision. Um, Let me tell you something. When you are jealous and envious of people, that radiates a lot of energy. And the people that you tend to be jealous or envious towards tend to feel it. Sometimes they may not have the words to say. Sometimes they may not have proof. Sometimes it takes a big moment in their lives before they are like, what in the world? This is not my real friend. And then y'all fall out. I have so many stories. I did an interview a few months ago, and I think it was like the video where I discussed friendships and stuff. It's like the second video before this one. I'll tag the video in it, but I did do a video on that discussing a little bit of some of the things that I have experienced with women, jealousy, and their attitudes towards each other. It comes from competition. It comes from you feeling like you were slighted in some way. Can you have, you know, can you see something or see somebody and feel have like a tinge of jealousy for a split moment, and feel some type of way about it because of what you've been battling or whatever like that? Yeah. But to make this your whole personality, and then you get to excusing the emotion and you get to defending the perpetrators, y'all need to wrap it up. Therapy is a real thing, and Christ heals. Period. But y'all to get to the point where y'all start sabotaging people and events and stuff like that, y'all need to wrap it up. And you know what? Her friend had the audacity to put on a Facebook post after I blocked that girl. She talking my son. People can be jealous and envious of you too. Did your friend tell you what she did, or are you mentally ill? Which one is it? Because it can't be that your friend told you what she did and you heard the full true story and you feel like I'm jealous of her. Diabolical. But people like that will always have people around them that validate their actions. So therefore, there's never no healing. There's never no evolution. Because why? What you need all that for? When you got people that's going to tell you that what you're doing is good when it's not. Anyways, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. That's what I had to say. This may be a series. This series technically is called Mean Girls. Um, and just, as I explore different dimensions and, as I think about different things, I'll be pumping out more videos based off of that and female dynamics and friendships and stuff like that because it needs to be discussed. If whenever you achieve something in life and the women around you are not genuinely happy, and you know what genuine happiness looks and feels like because you will feel it. They're not your reference. If you have a slight tinge feeling like your gut, there's something wrong in your gut about a girl, but you don't have no proof, she not your friend. If you are constantly finding yourself in situations where you do something, she feel like she gotta one up you and all this stuff, it's a one up situation. I got stories about that too. They're not your friend. If whenever something happens to them, you are there for them and you're there supporting them and you're egging them on, but then when it's your turn, when it's time for them to turn and make it about you and to deal with you with softness and they don't, they're not your friends. When it is time for um you to have a heart to heart with this person and you're telling them about the truth of the situation or how you feel and they turn it on you or they don't want to be your friend no more or it turns into they're not your friend.